Well, all right, everybody, we are back again with the Niners here in this Madden 24 sim rebuild, worst team rebuild, and we're now halfway through our 10-year tenure with the Niners, and we have had no success, no playoff appearances whatsoever through our first 5 years. And in fact, our quarterback that we drafted 3 years ago had a really bad third season, and it's why we were 6-11 for the second straight season. He regressed significantly back to even being worse than his rookie season, and now I'm not sure what we're supposed to do going forward. But I did say last episode that I do kind of want to think about keeping the team mostly together. Obviously there's going to be a couple of outliers and free agents and stuff like that, but trying to keep most of the team together, add what free agents that we can. I'm probably going to trade or just release Covington because he's been just so bad ever since we signed him after we thought that he was going to be a pretty good pass rusher. I was very excited to pick him up, and then he has had like 2 sacks total and 2 seasons with us so far. So things are kind of not looking too good for us. The defense regressed. The secondary has been awful the entire time that we have been in charge here. And now we got to think about filling out left guard, potential change at right tackle. Maybe we need a better tight end than George Ford, because right now the tight ends haven't really done that much. But do we believe in Faulkner? He's got 1 more year left. We did not pick up his or Newsome's 5th-year option, so these 2 players are both gonna be on contract years. But we need Wheatley to step up. We need Sheldon to get the ball more. And frankly, we just gotta make this team better. But we've tried that. We've had some good drafts, but I'm not sure it's made enough of a difference so far. In fact, I can tell you it really hasn't. So we gotta figure out how to improve this team this time around, because we are halfway through and we have really not done a whole lot. We have put ourselves into a rebuild and we have not pulled ourselves out of it yet. So we got $60 million in cap room. These are the free agents right now. You got Joe Burrow as a free agent, Ezekiel Chambers, who we let walk. Obviously, he has not had a single year with 10 or more sacks. He's got 14 offers and does not want to come back, and I'm not going to bring him back either. There is Malik Wheatley, who is obviously, I guess, related to Arias Wheatley or something. There's just too many Wheatley receivers, but he has no interest to come over here, but he is one of the top receivers, because I do want to probably get a better receiver in here than Victor Weeks, hopefully, to maybe play the 2 alongside Wheatley, or play as the 1, and Wheatley can just be in the slot as the 2, and then Sheldon as the 3. That could be a pretty good option for us. You got Herbert, Charles Cross, a lot of veterans really, but I was thinking about trying to go after Emmett Benson here, who is more of a zone corner. I haven't gone after zone corners yet so far, but maybe this team just needs one. Maybe this team needs a zone corner alongside Micah Betts and Kilroy to be effective. So I'm going to immediately just go and offer throw an offer his way. He's got 94 speed and like really good zone coverage. His man is like 70, which is not, terrible, but it's not great. But I'm definitely open to trying to bring him in, but it's going to be tough given that he has not a lot of re-sign interest with us. So if we go after him, there's actually not a lot of good offers here. We could increase this and probably get to the green if we want to. We have the cap room to do so, and we have to make a move in the secondary here in the open market, because if we don't, we are stuck with another young core out there that's not going to be good enough to win games. I'm going to increase this offer a little bit because I would like to absolutely secure him, and I'm willing to shell out a little bit more money than I'm used to get him. So I'll offer this one, and we're squarely at the top for now. I hope that he takes that, but he might take a pay cut for a team that he likes better. But so far, we have the top offer for him. Now, for other players, we were thinking about left guard, so let's go take a look at the interior linemen. We've got Danny Stevenson, Cam Baker, who we just released, Michael Bynes. Now, Cam Baker, by the way, the reason why was because he just has allowed way too many sacks as a starter, especially this past year. After a really good 2030 season, he allowed 9 sacks here in 2032. That's a lot for a left guard, in my opinion. So we're going to try and maybe go elsewhere. There is Michael Bynes here, who's a power lineman. Only allowed 1 sack in Detroit this past season, 4 before that. How many downs did he play? He played pretty much the entire last 2 seasons and was very, very good. So, could go after him. Would that help out the run game? Would it be good for Newsome or these running backs? Given that he's not a scheme fit, maybe not. I don't think that his finesse is terrible. Well, it kind of is. 67 pass block finesse, 66 run block finesse. So, could, but he's just not a scheme fit. But he still has been a solid lineman throughout his career. So, there are options. There's also Seth Poole, who's got 2 other offers. He has allowed 1 sack so far in his entire career, but really has not played a whole lot at all. So, you go after him, it's kind of going to be a bit of a gamble, but could be worth doing. You could still draft somebody and see if you want to work on seeing if, that guy could get playing time if you want to drafting a left guard. But I think he's got decent ratings, and I want to see what he can do, to be honest. I would be open to signing him. So, give an offer. I'll do 1 year just because you just don't know these linemen, as we know with Baker. So, we'll offer him. And he has 2 other offers from the Raiders and Broncos, but right now we have the top 1. Now, I might offer Bynes later on because he has no other offers right now, and he has interest in coming to our team. So maybe you could make Seth Poole the backup and bring in both players, and then whoever is playing worse at some point, you sub them out. I think that makes sense. Give them both 1-year deals. That could work out. We were thinking about signing Linderbaum, and this could be the right move, but I don't know if I want to sign somebody that is 33 years old and is only going to be here for absolutely 1 season. I'd rather get a guy that is younger and might have a future on this team if he can play well in their first year. So I think for now, I'll pass on that. So 2 offers so far. We're thinking about upgrading a right tackle, but we had just to let James Sheldon walk because he was playing pretty poorly in pass protection. So 4 sacks allowed in only 9 games played. Before that, he was actually doing pretty well, but it's kind of a rough start to his season. Is it worth bringing him back? Is he better than Clay Farr? I think they're pretty similar players. So probably not worth doing. Otherwise, middle linebacker could be one, but we drafted those 2 rookies that were both normal dev and ended up not actually playing that well, even though I thought they would. So, gotta think about that. Hufanga is now a free agent. Oh, there is Britton Cook here. We have James McCann at safety, but if you want to improve your secondary, I mean, this is the time to do it. 82 hybrid, 83 zone coverage, 86 man coverage. That's awesome. Okay, good awareness, good play rec, 88 speed. Could be a solid player. Plenty of tackles, a sack, and a pick. 7 deflections. I'm definitely intrigued by Britton Cook, and I definitely want to give him an offer. I'd be open to a 4-year deal if that's what he wants. He's got some interest in coming with us. He likes the market of Santa Clara, so if we offer him, where is that offer at now? We are kind of up there with the Commanders. So let's increase this offer a little bit. Still got plenty of cap room left, so I'm open to doing this. And now we have the top offer. Cool. Now, is it worth signing a quarterback like Eli Sari, who we thought about drafting way back when he was a rookie, in I think the first draft with this team specifically, and he hasn't really played at all really throughout his career. He's been a career backup, but is he worth just bringing in just in case Faulkner plays poorly again? I think it's definitely a possibility. He wants a pretty small cap, but he knows that he's a backup. So I will definitely offer him a 2-year contract just to see if we can bring in some competition for him. So These are the targets here. Benson, Cook, Bynes, Seri, and Poole. And I see if we can get all of these guys, hopefully, especially Benson and Cook, especially. So here we go. Let's evaluate. The only guy left is Michael Bynes, and we signed Benson, Cook, Seri, and Poole. The guys that we wanted. We got 4 of the 5. We have a new corner over here. He's our highest rated corner now alongside Kilroy. So probably going to move Bats back to the 3rd spot, which I think is going to better suit him. And Britton Cook is going to start over McCann this year. Just because I haven't really noticed McCann all that much, despite him being a solid draft pick for us. Overall wise, he hasn't really proven himself. Bynes is holding out for one more offer. I'll do it one more time, and we do sign Michael Bynes as well. So now we got some competition here at left guard too. So we got more depth at offensive line. We bring in 2 new secondary pieces out of the open markets, and we sign a backup quarterback to light a fire under Faulkner as well. So what other moves could be made? What tight ends are available? We got Dorian Maddox here, who's gotten older offers, wants about $7 million a season. What has he done in his career so far? The UCLA, he's played in New England for several years, so had a couple of really solid seasons. Would he be better than George Ford? Maybe. Through 3 years, Ford has actually not been as bad as I thought. He's been actually more consistent than Maddox has. So I think we can rock with George Ford going forward and just hope that Faulkner or whoever we have a quarterback plays better, because that would obviously make him better too. These are all of the receivers left available. I'm probably just going to draft another one, honestly, but not in the first round. I know that I've talked about doing that, and we've drafted a receiver for, what, 2 straight years now? But all the other guys have signed, like Lamb signed with the Bills, Wheatley's gone, Swinton signed, London signed. I just didn't think that receiver was the biggest need for us. I think it was the other spots more so in the defense and all that. So, I mean, you could go after somebody, but I've had horrible luck signing free agent receivers, and I'm not sure I want to go through that again, because that would just be a waste of our time, I think. I'd rather draft one again and just have a very young receiving core. I'm thinking about Clay Farr at right tackle. You do have John Spence here. He's got 2 offers right now and has heavy interest in signing with us. He is a power scheme fit. Well, not a scheme fit, but this is a power archetype. The finesse is not that bad for the pass block. It is kind of bad for the run block, but maybe bring in some more offensive line competition, some more depth at right tackle, and could be a solid move to make. I just like having a very deep offensive line and trying things out there and seeing what works and what doesn't. So definitely open to giving him an offer. But after that, I think now I kind of want to find a trade partner for Covington. But first, let's see if we can sign this guy to a contract. We have the best offer right now for him, and it looks like he took it. Welcome, John Spence. So 3 new offensive linemen, all 76 or higher and less than 28 years old. Covington has been terrible for us, so we are definitely going to see what offers we can get for him. Got about 6-7 offers right now, and I'm definitely open to well, I'm not going to make a move for a young guy that doesn't make much sense to be traded away. We could have got a right tackle from the Chargers, but I just signed one. Oh, well, that's all right. Defensive tackle, J.J. Streets. Free safety, Taylor Hanna. I guess the Panthers signed Hufanga. The Patriots are offering another edge rusher, Nicholas Hoover. Tight end, Isaiah Foskey from the Rams. Drake London. Maybe that could be the receiver that you go and get. A veteran, less cap hit than Covington has, and then you don't have to focus on drafting one. Well, you still could draft one, but you could focus on other options. There is also Dalton Bray. I might like that one more, because right now our linebackers, especially at middle linebacker, kind of thin. especially after those rookies, were not as good as I thought they would be. Let's take the offer for... Well, hold on. Let's go see what we like better, the receivers or the linebackers in this draft. Now that I think about it, I think we kind of have to go with pass rusher first round. So definitely can't go receiver or middle linebacker first round, but there are a lot of round 1 and 2 talent receivers that are definitely not going to all go in the first round. I think it's better for us to take the middle linebacker deal because there's plenty of options here. There's no way all these guys are going to be trash picks, right? There's just no way. So a guy like Frederick Fox, though, he's got B's across the board. Physical receiver. We don't really have a guy like this on our team right now. 6'4", he's 24 years old. It just is not that fast, but does he need to be? Maybe not. At middle linebacker, it is a lot more thin, and I don't want to make another, mid to late round pick on a linebacker. So let's go take that deal for Covington to get Dalton Bray from Pittsburgh, I believe was the team that was offering it for him. So let's get this deal done. I will take a straight up swap for him. So no problems there. Where's he at? Dalton Bray, 82 overall, star depth, 30 years old, veteran player, but I think at this point this team might need some veterans to be added back to the roster. Let's make the deal. Not really seeing any other options that I want to bring in the open market, so we might save the rest of our cap room going forward. We got 61 players on the roster right now. We're going to add plenty more in the draft. So I think I feel comfortable moving forward as we are right now. Don't forget that we have the 6th overall pick in this draft as our only first rounder, but there are some options that I might go Tyler Edwards with our pick, as right now he's supposed to go pick 9, but he's got top 5 talent. This guy is kind of a beast. He's got to be head and dev, right? With B blocks, with A pursuit, B tackle. He's got, power and speed to him. Great strength, good speed. Just a good overall athlete. And he's got C finesse, A power, B play rec, B block shed. This guy can just do it all besides coverage, but he would be just a pass rusher. And I kind of like linebacker rushers more than edge rushers, at least at left and right end, because the game is not using the right terminology anymore. But I mean, top 5 talent, you kind of can't pass that up if he's there at our pick, and you can just move him to left end if you want to, but you could also just keep him there right outside linebacker. But I think right now, for our scheme, right outside linebacker is pass coverage, so we might be due for a scheme change too. Who knows? All right, actually, I do kind of want to bring in somebody to play left end for us. We had Coleman last year. We gave him the start, I think, for the rest of the season. He wasn't very good. But he's a scheme fit, a power rusher. Only had the 1 sack, though. We can get somebody who had maybe 5 sacks at left, and that would be nice. James Lopez, has he done anything great in his career? He had 1 sack, and how many downs played? 17? He played in 1 game all year long, and he got a sack? I'm taking a chance. Because right now we have 1 guy at left end, and he's not very good. He's like a D overall, so they can offer to Lopez, and then we'll, maybe even draft somebody at left end too. There's also Roderick Oliver. What about him? He has only had 1 career sack. I think I'll pass on that. There is Kalijah Cansey. What has he done? Going off a 4 sack season, and how many downs played? About half of Covington. So this could also be a veteran option and could be the starter next year too. So let's make those offers. I thought I was going to save our money, but we still have plenty to go around. So let's evaluate, and we get them both. Nice. Cansey and Lopez, left ends, they have been added. Meanwhile, other signings, Joe Burrow is now a Saint. The Bills bring in Chambers, so yep, he's going across the country. I think Wheatley is going to be a Ram, so in our division. Linderbaum goes to the Commanders to help out Stephen Pagel. Herbert, I think, is a Brown for the second straight year. Maybe that was Josh Allen, but I think it was Herbert last year too. Cross to Denver. Weatherspoon to New York. Ufanga we saw go to the Panthers. Sheldon is going to Tampa Bay. Baltimore brings in Darnell Wright. Brian Bresee is back to New Orleans. So, Lamb's also a Bill. Wow, the Saints been a lot of key signings. London and Stingley plus Burrow and Bresee. A lot of signings. The Cowboys brought in Josh Allen, who is 37 years old at this point. So, those are all your major signings so far. Cam Baker is a Colt. Good for him, I guess. So, quick recap so far. These are all the moves that we have made so far this year. We obviously signed Emmett Benson to a 3-year, $49 million contract. We signed Eli Sari, Seth Poole. We brought in a new safety, Britton Cook. We brought in a lineman, Michael Bynes. A new right tackle to potentially give some competitiveness to Clay Farr. We traded for Dalton Bray, giving away one of our worst signings ever in Dalvin Covington. And we also signed 2 left ends to fill that hole once he was traded. So now we've got private workouts, and I'm going to use these. I'm probably one of these pass rushers. Looks like these top 2 or two of these top 3 guys probably aren't as good as we thought. But I still am leaning towards Tyler Edwards. But I am still thinking about receiver later on in the draft. Definitely want to get more info on Frederick Fox. Be open to use it on one more player, maybe here later on. Maybe somebody like Tim Jen. Well, not. I need a non-deep threat here. McMillan is physical, but does not have good catching or catch in traffic. Think about Gabe Newton, and then maybe a later playmaker pick or so. Although he's got F catch in traffic. Let's see. Felix Scott. Robert McInnes. Maybe let's use it on Johnny Savage. He's got some solid initial ratings here. So use it on 3 receivers instead. Mock Draft 5 right now has Edwards now going at pick 3 to the Broncos. So he has climbed up the boards now, which is not good news for us. But there still is Joey June here, who is a round 1 talent. Immediately reminds me of Edwards. Just worse speed, but similar strength, but just not as good speed or acceleration. But C finesse, A power, most B blocks, and A play rec. So I'd be open to still drafting Joey June even if Edwards goes, because they're very similar players. And June actually weighs a bit more, I think, right? Edwards is 259. He's 255. Never mind, I was wrong about that. But anyways, I'm still open to drafting Joey June for sure. We get Fox to 90%. And B catching traffic, B catching, B release, D deep route. Physical receiver. Know about his athletic profile. A spec catch. Good carrying, good break tackle. Awareness is kind of low. The route running is bad across the board. Decent blocker though. He's intriguing, but not like a great option. There's Gabe Newton here, A catching and A catch in traffic. 2 years younger, also a physical receiver, a better athletic profile, and route running's honestly worse. At least at C, but B spec catch, good injury awareness, ball carrier vision. I definitely like Newton more than Fox now. And then we also used it on Johnny Savage. C catch in traffic, catching, deep routes. Pretty solid athlete, but not very fast, really. But the route running is there. Initial ratings are kind of solid. So if you want to take this guy in the second round, he's probably your best bet. Unless you have Frederick Fox there too. Both guys are probably going to be there in the second round. So probably wait on these guys. I will check the mock draft though real quick and see if those guys are going to be there. So in mock draft 5, the first receiver goes at pick 12. Then you got Stoudemire going pick 17. Newton goes at 22 apparently to Chicago. And then he's the last receiver in the first round. So, I mean, he is the top option, I think, for me, but I'm open to drafting a slightly worse player if we can get both guys that we want with a pass rusher and a solid receiver there in round 2. So, probably not going to make any trade-ups or anything. I'll probably just go right in the draft and just see what happens as we go along. But just a refresher on how many picks we have. Pretty much got 1 each round until the 3rd. We got 2 third-round picks, 3 4s, 2 6s, 2 7s. So once again, plenty of draft picks. And not gonna, get way too excited about this draft because, as we have seen so far, has not paid off yet in these previous ones. So here we go. Gonna start the draft and see who we can bring in as our next pass rusher and our next receiver. So, the Chiefs are on the clock, and with the first overall pick, they will select Amir Aldridge out of Alabama, one of the top edge rushers in the class. Now, again, I'm not going to trade up. I'm open to just seeing how it goes. So, next pick, the Saints, they take Melvin Thomas. The Broncos were supposed to take Edwards according to the mock draft, and they will. So he climbs up their board. Now it's the Jaguars. They select Larry Barkley. So just edge guys so far, it looks like. And then you got the Raiders. They select right tackle Quincy Lynch, and now we're on the clock. I will not be trading this pick away. Not even going to look at the offers. And let's at least browse through these pass rushing options, but I still like Joey doing the most because we know about his talent. Kenny here's a speed rusher like Ezekiel Chambers was. A finesse moves, beat tackle, weighs 251. So really, Joey June can play at right end just straight up because this guy weighs 251. He weighs more than that. So this guy's got a great profile though from the combine. A finesse moves, deep power, deep blocks. He's only got finesse moves. I would rather get somebody who, is more well-rounded. DeAndre Rogers, beat blocks, A pursuit, C tackle, C zone coverage. Also a speed rusher. Great athletic profile. But no A's for the pass rush. But he does have B block shed, so he's pretty solid. And then Joey June, I think he blows these two guys out of the water just by his skill set alone. Plus the awareness and play being so high already. I'm drafting Joey June, 6th overall out of Texas A&M. Welcome. He's hidden dev. Thank God. If he was normal, it would be probably really bad. 82 strength, 78 speed. We'll see about him and see his final ratings after the draft. But happy with this selection. Very happy. One of our problems for our defense, too, has been the fact that we haven't had a good year for our secondary, but we also haven't had a good year forcing pressure on opposing quarterbacks as Kenny goes to the Rams. So we're still trying to improve the pass rush here and make it as good as possible. We're going to send through the rest of this first round, see where different players go. There goes Casper, who is mocked to us. There goes the receiver, Glenn Easley. Aiden Collins. Larry Haywood. Defensive tackle for the Cowboys. They signed Kenny Pickett and Josh Allen, so a bit of a quarterback battle going on there. There goes another receiver, Josiah Stoudemire, to Atlanta. Race safety, Jamison Ware goes to Houston. Right guard for the Steelers. The Commanders go left tackle. Dolphins on the clock. Safety. The Bears were supposed to take Gabe Newton, and they do. So that was correct. It's been a very accurate mock draft so far, I will say. Bears have their second pick, and they take a quarterback, Aiden St. Clair to Clemson. Interesting. Running back for the Chargers. The Cardinals go left end. Okay. The Lions, our former team. They take Azavius Newman. That's a sick name. Tight end goes here to the Patriots. The Bengals are up. They go Eddie Husa, who I thought about drafting. I had him on my board. But he goes in the first round. There goes Michael Harding. And the last 2 picks of the first. John Falk. And then the tight ends with Antonio Fuller. They select a right guard to help him out. Now we're a few picks away from our next selection. I am willing to just see what receivers are still there at our pick. I doubt more than 2 go here. So we still have plenty of options, I think. There goes Brian Trapp, who I did not really look at all too much. Richard Ward, so 2 picks away. Right tackle, and now we are on the clock. They took a receiver, but not the one that I wanted. So here we go. We're going to take one of those receivers, probably. Fox is still there, obviously, and so is Johnny Savage. Who do you like more, Fox or Savage? He's 24 years old, physical, B, catching traffic, catching and release. With a solid athletic profile, but he's not very fast, but we've already got 2 very speedy receivers on our team, so it's not really necessary. And then you've got Johnny Savage, who is younger, a bit shorter, and has kind of a worse skill set overall, but is probably maybe a slightly better athlete, slightly, and might have more consistent overall ratings. I think I like Savage a bit more, just a tiny bit more. So we're going to take Johnny Savage. He's hidden. Let's go. Okay. Thank God he's not normal. 88 speed. I don't care. I'll take it. Got 2 third-round picks close by. And there's still plenty of options here. Do you go for another player like Eddie Spears? C Blanc should be tackle. 6'4", 252. Poor acceleration, but great speed. That's kind of weird. But E finesse moves, D power, C Blanc shed. He's probably normal dev. He's dropped here for a reason. There's Jimmy Stachelski. I'm not even sure what positions that we really need, but you could go after just different positions and see if you can improve your depth at certain spots. So I gotta think about what to do here. Tight end could still be an option. The third one is not very good. Not that it would really make a difference in terms of the season, but a guy like Jimmy Griffin could be taken later on in the draft, and he's probably pretty damn solid. So who knows? We only have 1 left outside linebacker on the roster. I would probably prefer to get one, hopefully with good block shed. So looking for a run stopper player. There's not a whole lot of guys available that have that skill set, at least at linebacker. You could move one of these guys there like Matt Carroll, but these are all day 3 picks and we're in round 3. There is right end Bryce Barnett, B finesse move, C power, C tackle, speed rusher, solid overall athletes. Only bad thing is with the block shed, but we have our run defense is pretty damn solid without this, so I think this could be a solid pick, and would pretty much fill right in for Chambers, kind of. So why not draft Bryce Barnett here? Normal dev, but 80 strength, 77 speed. We'll see if he is any decent, but we got a pick here and a couple of selections too, so we'll just go right up to it. The Rams select Tevin Thomas, and the Ravens go with Cooper Watt. So we're back on the clock. Again, we have plenty of guys on the roster, so we're going to have a lot of cuts probably in preseason, but I think now you could at least take a shot on Eddie Spears and see if he's hidden dev or not, right? He had some solid ratings, and he's normal, but 85 speed is actually pretty good, I think. We got 3 picks here in the 4th round. And now I kind of do want to go tight end. So let's go look at the options. Jimmy Griffin's still there. I mean, why not take a shot? If he's hidden, that would be awesome. He's got a pretty solid profile. He's very fast for a tight end. Kind of a shot in the dark for the most part. But Jimmy Griffin, normal dev, but I still like his skill set. Hopefully it's not going towards the latter half of these ranges, though. I'm kind of running out of ideas here. I might... What? Well, hold on. There is a linebacker down here. Jerry McMichael. Whoa. His skill set is actually very, very good. Elite speed. This guy's a steal. I'm drafting him, no doubt. This is the run stopper linebacker that we were looking for all along. Normal depth, though, man, I thought his ratings would give him hidden, but still, really good ratings. I think he is going to be a pretty solid player out of the draft, straight up. So obviously, plenty of defensive selections here, but our last 4th round pick might trade the rest of these away because we already have, as I've been talking about, so many guys on the roster. Maybe you draft a receiver, one more receiver, and take a chance and hope that they're good. Like maybe you just, maybe Jimmy here is not as bad as his drop has indicated, but he's got B deep route. He's a deep threat like most of our other players. F catching though, F release. I mean, Jesus. I mean, could he be an option to just have out there just in case? Maybe, but he looks like he's probably just terrible. I'm not really sure about that. There is Steve Harris. Decent ratings across the board. Another physical guy. We only got 6 receivers plus the guy we drafted, so why not try and just better our depth there, I guess. He's normal depth, but 91 speed, 84 jumping. See about his stuff. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and trade these picks away. If we could package these for a 3rd round pick, that could be good. The Broncos had a pretty high pick, so let's try and get a deal done with them. Will they take this? They will. All right, 3rd round pick next year, extra one. And that's going to be it for our draft. We have a lot of depth now on our team. We had a lot of cap room. We had the, opportunity to do this. So why not? Let's go see how we did here in this draft, everybody. All right, the moments of truth. Draft recap. I missed on a couple of players for sure, but a couple of solid picks here, I think. Again, not going to put too much stock into this draft, but Joey June is a 75 overall hidden depth player. Might move him to left end because that is a scheme fit for him there, and it would have fit in perfectly at that position. But he's got 82 power moves. That's already like one of the highest I've seen out of the draft. 80 speed, hit power, pursuit. Block shot's not bad. Finesse was can actually be worked on. So definitely a fan of this pick. We'll see if he is a high def player or not. Let's take a look. He is a star, but you know what? Hey, if he wins Rookie of the Year, he'll go up to superstar. So happy with that selection. We also drafted Johnny Savage, who was also hidden development, 71 overall playmaker with decent route running, which thank God it's not horrible. And he's got decent catching traffic. Everything is in a pretty good starting place. Just not anything to really write home about, but still a solid selection. And the newest addition to our very young receiving core. And he is going to be a star as well. Then we drafted Bryce Barnett, 67 overall speed rusher, 72 finesse, 67 power. Definitely here for some depth for sure. Now, Spears dropped for a reason. He was our first miss of the draft, 64 speed rusher with only 72 finesse moves, but the block shot's honestly not that bad, but everything else like the awareness, play rec, hit power, tackle, pursuit is all way too low. So is the strength. He might not even make the roster, to be honest with you. And Jimmy Griffin wasn't as good as I thought he was going to be. It looks like the ratings were kind of more so towards the back half of the ratings ranges. Route running's not very good. Awareness is low. Run block is bad. Yeah, we'll see. But then we had Jerry McMichael as a 71 overall. So he was a pretty solid player. do we start him with these ratings? If he is the best left outside linebacker that's a run stopper, then probably so. But things to work on definitely for him. But still, 71 overall is a pretty good starting place. I do like that. And our final pick was a receiver, Steve Harris, 68 overall. He's actually going to be better than a couple of guys on the roster right now. 91 speed, 86 spec catch, okay. 80 catching, so better catching and catching traffic than our other receiver. So that's awesome. Johnny Savage and Harris are not too far apart in skill sets, but the draft, not our best draft, but I think that we made the right moves, to be honest, and we got the guys that can hopefully step up this time around, because Chambers was not one of them. Let's see if these guys can do it. But that is your draft class, and now we can go see the top picks in the draft. Who is the best player? This was kind of a shitty draft. The top guy was a tight end, Stephen Brown. Hidden developments, cool. And then after him, you had Michael Harding, who went late first round. So both guys were like not even top 25 picks, and they were both the best rated players, but Harding is his normal dev like Micah Betts was. Pretty similar player there. Edwards was a 76 overall hidden, so really not that much better. Like top 5 talent just meant that he was 1 overall better than Joey June. He's got 83 power moves, so 1 tick higher than June. And better block shed 2, but worse finesse moves. So either guy could have been a pretty solid pick. I'll see what dev trait Edwards is. And if we missed out on potentially trading up, he is a superstar. So maybe, but you can't always make trades like that. And I don't always like trading up just because we're so bad every year. Couple of solid safety picks here. June was one of the top picks in the draft. We'll take it. So love that for us. But these are all the other top picks. Aldridge went first overall, and he was hidden developments with 78 finesse, 76 block shed. I wonder why he was so highly coveted. Was he X Factor by chance? Oh, a star. Interesting. So a lot of pass rushers, but were any of them like an X Factor caliber player? This is Melvin Thomas. He is the X Factor. Okay. Let's go see what his ratings are. I'm curious. The Saints have had kind of a really awesome offseason, dude. What the heck? 80 power moves, so pretty similar skill set to Joey June and Tyler Edwards. So those 3 guys, similar overalls, and we just got the worst out of all 3. Edwards was the superstar. Thomas the X Factor, our guy was a star, but, still a promising pick, I think. So Gabe Newton we thought about taking. We liked him a lot. He was normal dev, so automatically I like our pick better. Though he does have some pretty good ratings, especially catching-wise. Now we also thought about Eddie Husted. We saw him in the draft and we liked him, but he's also normal dev and he was terrible. Holy crap, he actually sucks. Bust of a pick by the Bengals here. 65 overall in the first round. Wow. Were there any other picks like that were this bad in the first round? Not really. It was him, then St. Clair is a 68 overall. So the Bears kind of had a rough draft, at least in the first round, because they had 2 first-round picks and both guys were not very good. So I think you take that. And the other receiver, did he go in the first round that I liked? The guy that I liked again. Not Trapp or Lipton. There's one more. The Seahawks really drafted Frederick Fox, dude. Are you serious? I picked 31 in the second round, but he was a normal dev player, so he made the right selection again in terms of the dev trait picks. So overall, I think I'm happy with this draft, as I usually have been, but you won't really know until we see what unfolds here in the actual season. So here's your lineup to open preseason. 70 of 75 roster spots are filled. Faulkner will start the year as the quarterback. Newsome as the running back. I think he's earned the full-time starting job for this season. We're going to have Poole start at left guard. with the same offensive line from last year, same tight end room, and at receiver we're going to have Wheatley as the 1, and in the slot, Sheldon as the 2, Savage as the 3, and Henson as the 4 / the second slot receiver. With Stockton and Stewart behind Newsom. In fact, Stewart was a rookie last year, so I got to bump him back up to star for at least this season. But then behind Faulkner, we're going to have Eli Sari, obviously. Just in case Faulkner plays poorly, we can put Sari in and see if he can play any better. And then on defense, going to try Cook as the safety. We're going to start Bray at middle linebacker with Duhan over McMichael for now. But if, it's not playing pretty well, then I might want to give him a shot. Curtis at right outside linebacker will not be the sub linebacker this year. We're going to have Sellers at free safety, backed up by Warmack. McCann's going to back up Cook. And then at corner, I'm going to make Benson our number 1 corner, with Kilroy as the 2, Betts as the 3, Spriggs as the 4. If it's bad this year, I don't have any answer for us. And then we're going to have Cansey play right end across from Joey June, the rookie. And in fact, I'm going to move June right now to left end so that it applies and he can just be there full time and does not mess up my lineup at all, hopefully. So the left end he goes. Will it mess it up? Defense. It sure did. I'll just drag him back up. There he is. So we're going to have James Allen and Franklin return as the D tackles, backed up by Moni and Brandon Ward. So Freeman behind Bray. The 2 young linebackers not getting playing time this year for the most part. We're trying to really win these games this year. If we don't, I'm not sure where this team goes from here. Specialist-wise, we're going to have June be the rush left end. And we're going to have Kilroy start the year in the slot. With Allen as pretty much the nose tackle and nickel and dime defenses. Can't see it right end. Bray as the sub linebacker. And Newsom for now is going to earn the full-time third down and power back spots. But Stewart and Stockton both could earn those positions if Newsom does not play well, because both guys can easily slot into each of those positions. Well, Wheatley's going to be the slot guy, as we knew, with Henson behind him. So that's your lineup, everybody. That is your team. That's your off-season. We've gone through this plenty of times before. We'll see if it actually works out this time. But not going to put a lot of hope into our year, and not going to have too many expectations because of what happened last season. But it is the final contract year for Faulkner and for Newsom. So if those 2 guys don't lead the offense to a good year, or our new coordinator, at least on the defense, does not do a good job, then we're going to be in some deep shit. Now, hopefully Will Hudson can turn things around. He's been here for a couple of years now and had that 1 good year with Faulkner. Got to get back to that if we're going to have any chance at getting close to 500. But that's going to be it for the episode, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys for Season 6 with the Niners, going into the final 5 seasons with this team. I'll see you guys there. Peace out.